Good evening from Clarksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rantin Randy's Rant for 1/7 uh, 2020. I wanted to start out with my granny, my maternal grandmother, which we used to call, this is the part of the South that you'll hear about from me. Uh, my grandmother, when we were little, we called her Mama. Had a great grandmother, her mother, Big Mama. Uh, when the and Today was her birthday. She was born in 1907. Uh, when the Beverly Hillbillies hit the air in, I believe it was 1962, uh, that's when my brother and I started calling Mama. We started calling her Granny because she reminded us of Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies. I just want to throw that up front. And I also want to give you some hope coming out of the gate before I even pick Donny up over there. The hope I bring you today is that on January 25th, the global protest against a war in Iran. So that's the hope out there on the horizon. Um, Joe Sherwood more or less covered a lot today. Um, and I agree with him. I have every hope that we can get it done. Everybody cannot, you've got to get out there, get people to register. I know of Blue Dots that are doing exactly that. And there she is right there. She is organizing. Netta. Thank you, Netta. I know you'll be out there getting the job done for 2020 in your area. And we just got to have more like Netta get out there and get this thing done. We can do this, people. We can get across the message. Start talking to people. I live in a rural area, and some of these farmers are really disgusted. They were played as suckers, and they're starting to catch on to it. It's amazing. It reminded me today when we went somewhere. Uh, we decided I had to have my coffee. I have to have my coffee. So uh, we're in McD's again. And it was like that. It reminded me that, what was it? The commercial they used to have about when Carol Lynch speaks, everybody listens. It was like that in McDonald's today. It seemed very subdued. I was talking about Trump to Grace, and it was like, what's he saying? It's the mood in this country is changing, and I'm seeing it right here in Kirksville, Missouri. And we'll get into some of the stories. Let me bang this session in, and I hope that yeah, he'll get me pissed before I get through. Today is 302 days without a press conference. Stephanie Gresham can only appear on state run television because they won't ask her the hard questions. They'll just avoid that and let her spew her lies that she's gotten from Trump. Donny. Uh, and this is only 20 days from the day Donny was impeached. Seems like 20 months, doesn't it? Wow. And now we're seeing more and more evidence surface. But the problem's going to be is Moscow Mitch and Leningrad Graham, Leningrad Lindsay, are going to. They say they have votes for new rules. They can't run it like it's ever been done before because they just want to turn the man loose and say he's acquitted. Nothing can be done to him. That's why it is important. I'll give out the number before I leave you. I'm not going to do a long one. We need to go pick up something to eat. We've been here all day. Ran across another problem, but we've got a solution for it. It turns out, found out in the last 2 days, we got mice here. And that's because we have an outer door, and we had a resident that was moving out of the apartment next door, kept leaving the door propped open, and we've got a dumpster on the back side of the house, so they're coming in the house. Shit. All right, now back to the story. Remember in OMB, 2 employees resigned. And we discovered Defense Secretary's Chief of Staff, Eric Chewing, said, don't worry about the aid being held up. It will be resolved after Vice President Pence went over to talk to Zelensky. And he has now resigned. Let's see who else resigned. And see, now I don't think they want, I'll get back to that story. I got other notes on it. Now I don't think there's going to be a potential witness for it, as John Bolton says, if subpoenaed he would appear. They don't want him. They don't want him. They're going to change the rules. And I guarantee they're going to leave out any testimony from him. They're not going to subpoena him. He would be more dangerous than he would be good for them. Remember, he said they were like throwing a hand grenade in because of Giuliani. All right. I've got a good crowd out here. All right. Hello, Joe. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Bernadette. And let's see. I know more out there than probably not speaking right now. And there's Maria. I said hello on text on this before I got started. And of course, Netta. And welcome, Deborah Sanchez, to the conversation. Hello, John. Glad to see you. All right. I hope not. I hope I can do a good one for you. I'll get on down through here. In the DOD, for example, 5 have resigned since December 1st. They're all jumping ship. These people did not plan on going to jail, but they see it, and they see the dirty cover-up that's going on. Also, the UN ambassador to Afghanistan, John Bass, steps down. So that's what, about 8, 9 right there that are jumping ship. Because it's going down, baby. It's going down. All right. I wanted to mention this story the other day, and I forgot to do it. It was sent to me by, like I said, all these people that helped me are pointing out all this to me. Rashida Tlaib, Congresswoman, has been investigating the high cost of car insurance based on low credit rating. If you have a low credit rating, some of these people are paying, instead of being able to have a home and pay a mortgage payment, they can't do so if they drive. And they have to drive to be able to work. So they can't have a home because insurance companies are unfairly using credit ratings to charge them more money. It's not right. But nothing's right under this administration. Let the fascists have what they want. Also, continued from what I was talking about earlier, NSC advisor on Iran policy, is resigned. Why are these people resigning? And also, what about the military uh, uh, notifying Iraq that we would get out since they want us expelled from over there? William H. Seeley III, Brigadier General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commanding General, TF Iraq. Troops will be leaving Iraq. And now the DOD takes it back. Mark Esper said it was a poorly worded letter, and that's not what was trying to be said. Bullshit. They don't know what Donny's going to do next. It's whatever makes him happy. He decided, no, we're not pulling out now, so go take it back, Mark Esper. And that's exactly what they're doing. They don't even know what's going on within their own regime, for Pete's sake. Damn. And we're supposed to just forget it. They made a little mistake. How many little mistakes have they made? Whole damn regime. It's always been the same. And then Stupid was out there in the Oval Office with a foreign guest again. I didn't get to see who that was. I think it was something connected with Saudi Arabia. And it turns out Saudi Arabia is more transparent than the United States. We hear about what's going on with them through them. They're more transparent. They later reported at the White House. That stinks of dictatorship. That's what you see in a dictatorship. That and state TV for the press secretary. Why don't they just plant her ass over there at Fox News and say, Gresham, Stephanie Gresham, you ready to go on the air to lie for your president? And just let her stay there. She might as well. She does nothing around the White House. There aren't any press conferences. And let's see. And if you saw Cuomo last night, Judge Judy endorsing Bloomberg for president. And I've got some thoughts on that I wanted to run by you real quick. To be fair in what I do not pull for anybody's candidate. What I do is promote each candidate has a place on my timeline. If you want to send something about your candidate, I will put it there. But for right now, to do the reporting I'm doing, I cannot be in favor with different candidates. And I'll tell you, I like Elizabeth Warren a lot. I like a whole lot of them. Who I don't like, and I try to be fair, but this I don't see why. And like I said, what I say is I am not for billionaires running in the race. Here's why. We already have supposedly a billionaire as POTUS with other billionaires in his cabinet. We don't need anything like this to ever happen again. And I don't know that I could trust someone that's already a billionaire. But other than that, like I said, it's going to be quite a while since I do this reporting for y'all. I am not going to be biased at all. All I ask is you get on my timeline or in my group, please do not argue with others because they don't have the choice that you want, simply because in the end, when the nominee comes forward, vote blue no matter who. That's the only way we're going to get this turned around. And I know we can get it turned around. It's just a matter of everybody doing everything they can to make that blue tsunami even bigger. Let's take back the House. Let's take back the Senate. Let's take back the presidency. Then we can make them feel sorry they ever did this shit. Because there's a couple of them that unless we end up with somebody wimpy, they are going to be going to jail. Trump and a lot of his cronies are going to go to jail. They had to. We can't just let somebody do like he's done and try to take over our democracy. That's not right. We're not going to allow it. I will not live under a dictator. And last night, Rachel had an interview with Elizabeth Warren, and Julian Castro has now endorsed her for 2020. And that was only a couple of days out after he dropped out of the race. So what Elizabeth was doing last night was she was pointing out that Trump has fulfilled no promises that he gave his people. He was touting to pull out of foreign wars. He's increasing the foreign wars, and that he has no credibility whatsoever. And he tried to pressure the president of Ukraine. All right, I lost track of one of my pages. Well, in any case, I don't even need the damn paper. My job is just to make sure that we get this done in 2020, and we can do it, and we will do it as Blue Dots and as Americans. We can get this done. It's going to take a lot of work, but like I said, the hope I see is that global protest against the war in Iran. We get into that war, it could be the last war we ever have. And if you noticed, I only got parts of it in the Oval Office today, but he's still hinting at if they can kill people, then why is it, he was almost like asking, why is it wrong to hit their cultural sites? You dumbass, that makes you like ISIS. Damn. And you and the GOP and my Republican friends, you better wake up and smell the coffee. This man wants a takeover of the government. He promised you one thing, he's doing the opposite. He didn't drain the swamp, he's bringing the swamp into the White House. That's what it's been all about. And then they're calling this whole trial a sham. They never mention either with the phony dossier. Who turned it in to the FBI? John McCain, under the advice of Lindsey Graham. They don't tell you that. Ah, shit. Gotta do it. Damn. It's sometimes rough getting out of here. Sometimes I don't want to keep you that long. I just did want to get across my message that it's more important than ever that we get the cesspool, thank you, Deborah, out of the White House. And he complains about flushing commodes. I wonder if they've ever thought about throwing him in the commode and flushing him. That's what needs to be done. Oh, wait a minute. He'd stop it up. Besides that, he couldn't stop eating hamburgers long enough to do it. Oh, shit. Beat Trump. Oh, you mean the other one, Maria. All right, I will let you go, but first, let me remind you of the phone number. You're going to see it every time I'm out here. That's 202-224-3121. I actually don't need a card. I've got it memorized. I've used it so much. All right. Let me remind you that is my P.O. box now. And I'd love to get your postcards. We got, spring and summer will be coming up. And I love postcards from different cities because I don't get out of here. But I'm sure that some of you will be able to travel. Drop me a line on a postcard. Send Grace and I a letter. Would like reading about what's going on in your area. And if you feel I keep you informed and entertained with my little buddy over here, no, he's not my buddy. Bam, bam, bam. Call him Bam Bam. If you do feel that I keep you informed and that I do keep you up to speed and I keep you entertained as well, uh, you wouldn't believe a dollar or two every now and then would really help out. It keeps me going. It keeps the lights on. Whatever I need to get uh, to achieve, like the folding table that I've got behind me that I was talking about. Oh, no, that's for tomorrow's show. I just thought of something. And any of you that are Elvis fans know what tomorrow is. And I'll leave it at that for now. We can do this, people. We are the guardians of liberty. We're growing every day. I have gained something like 5 or 6 friends just in the last 2 days. And I always tell them, go up to JBS Blue Dot Family and join. Join with us. Fight with us for our cause to take back our democracy. Somebody has got to protect this democracy because the slug in the White House wants to be your next dictator. And if we were to let him, he would. There will be no sitting on the sidelines this time. If you're a Republican and you know he's doing wrong, become an independent if it takes it for you to vote against him. If you want to become a Democrat, I'm sure that you would be welcome to the party. All right, I will let you go. I appreciate and thank all of you for being out here. I like that, Maria. Someone please out some voodoo on Trump. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and I want to mention before we leave, look at the fires. I started to say this was the as the world burns for Australia, and now they've had a 6.5 earthquake. So this is never ending. Climate change is catching up with us, and I just hope that we can get things turned around, get back in the Paris Agreement, and start turning things around, making things better. We do want a world, even the GOP. You people want a world for your grandchildren to grow up in. You keep on this orange slug, and there ain't going to be any environment for anybody because nobody's going to be left on the planet. All right. Like I said, the global protest against the a war in Iran is January 25th. See, that's another example of something I found out because of all the support the Blue Dot family gives me. They send me these memes and I get them out. And I always read them. I want to make sure that everything that we're doing is particularly on Rant and Randy's, the True Patriots group, that we're telling the truth. And I've got quite a few new members there that are facts checking before Facebook can get to it to find out what the rating is on something that's out there appearing. So I will let you go and have a good evening. I appreciate you watching me and supporting me. Like and share and subscribe. If you're new out there, subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch me on Facebook for my rants the other 3 days of the week. All right. Peace. Resist, persist, and insist that we get the job done. We protect democracy. We are the guardians of liberty. So keep that in mind. Get out there, talk to people, let them know where you stand, and try to understand where they're coming from. But like I'm telling you, there's a whole lot of them that are starting to wake up to the fact they don't want another war. They don't want to lose their children and their grandchildren in war. And that's what it is. It's the young people that are going to be sacrificed so that the rich can keep the military industrial complex going, for example. And that's not the only thing. Anytime there is a war, they're working on, corporations are working on both sides of the war. All right, I'll let you go. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully this mic has done a good job. I can't tell much from that meter down there, but have a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow on my Facebook rant show. Share this shit. I love you, America. I love you, Blue Dots. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.